Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're tackling a word you hear literally everywhere these days, purpose. From giant corporations to small nonprofits, everyone's talking about their why. But what does it actually mean? Well, we're going to dive into two totally different worlds to find out.
Okay, let's kick things off with a number that is making boardrooms absolutely spin, 175%. Over a 12-year period, that's how much more brands driven by purpose grew compared to the average. A number like that, that's not just a trend, that's a total game changer.
And that number leads us right into this huge idea in business today, brand purpose. You hear it called the new North Star for marketers, this guiding light for everything a company does. But here's the real question. Is it just some slick marketing tactic, or is there something deeper going on?
So, what are we really talking about here? Well, the official definition is pretty clear. It's a brand's reason for being that goes way beyond just making money. It's the why behind the what. Why do they do what they do, besides cashing checks?
And listen, this isn't some fluffy, feel-good thing anymore. The bigwigs, the leaders in the industry, are saying this is the foundation for success in the long run. That tells you something, right? The whole rule book for business is being rewritten as we speak.
And you don't just have to take their word for it. The data is right here. I mean, just look at that gap. We're not talking about a small edge. These brands with a purpose more than doubled the average growth rate. This is exactly why this idea has moved out of the PR department and right into the center of a company's core strategy.
At the end of the day, it's all about connection. I mean, think about it. You have a million choices for everything you buy. And more, people don't just want to buy stuff. They want to buy into an idea. They're looking for brands that reflect what they themselves actually care about.
Okay, but to really get this, we've got to clear something up. A lot of people mix up purpose with a mission statement. And yeah, they sound kind of the same, right? But trust me, they're playing two very different roles.
All right, let's break it down. Your purpose is your big why. Why do we even exist? It's the big sky-high idea. Your mission, on the other hand, is the how. How are we actually going to do that? It's the roadmap, the day-to-day game plan. One is the dream, the other is the blueprint to get there.
And you can see this in action with some of the biggest companies out there. Look at these. Nike. They're not just selling shoes, they're selling inspiration. Google isn't just a search engine, they want to organize the world's information. And Patagonia? It's all about environmental solutions. See the pattern? They're not really selling a product, they're selling a belief.
Okay, so that's the corporate playbook. It's powerful, for sure, but it kind of makes you think, doesn't it? What does purpose mean when you take away the profit margins and the market share? What happens when the goal isn't to win a customer, but to save a life?
So now we're going to take a huge shift. We're leaving the boardroom behind and heading to the front lines of society. And we're going to look at a very different kind of document. This isn't about marketing, this is about survival. What you're looking at here is the Directory of Services for Children from Jamaica, a project with UNICEF. Its purpose has nothing to do with brand loyalty or sales goals. Nope, this thing is a lifeline. It's a guide to make sure kids get the protection and help they have a right to.
So if the North Star for a company is its brand purpose, the North Star for this is a legally binding international agreement, the Convention on the Rights of the Child. This isn't just some nice-sounding goal for a press release. This is a promise backed by international law.
So, how does a document like this turn purpose into action? Well, it's not with clever ads or social media campaigns. It's with a clear, direct blueprint for care, where every single principle is a promise that has to be kept. It all starts with something called a parent charter, which lays out the absolute basics of what it means to care for a kid. And these aren't like corporate brand values. This is the real deal. Love, safety, protection. These are the fundamental building blocks of a healthy childhood. And this is where the two worlds really split apart. If a brand messes up its purpose, what happens? Maybe their stock price tips. But here, the consequences for failing to live up to this purpose are real, and they are severe. We're talking massive fines, even prison time. The stakes aren't lost profits, they're lost futures.
So let's actually put these two worlds side by side, because when you do, the contrast is just stark. On one hand, you've got the corporate marketing playbook. On the other, a directory for protecting children.
This table really lays it all out. Look at the motivation. Business growth versus human rights. The language they use, marketing speak versus legal principles. And who they serve, customers versus children. The goals, the language, the stakes, they couldn't be more different.
So here's the bottom line. Both of these worlds use the exact same word, purpose, but they mean completely different things. One purpose is aspirational. It's a story told to build a brand. The other is foundational. It's a set of rules and promises designed to protect a life.
And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. Take a look at the institutions in your own life, the company you work for, the brands you buy from, even the government. And ask yourself this: is their purpose aspirational or is it foundational? Are they trying to win something from you or are they trying to protect something for you? The answer to that question, well, it tells you everything you need to know.